For millenniums, the best thinkers have pondered about the human condition. The Bible tells the story of a world that initially lacked human suffering. It is only after the serpent convinced humans to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil that human suffering entered the world. But why did God put the tree there in the first place? Why didn't He create Adam and Eve with the ability to know good and evil? How does a perfect and good God create a world full of chaos? How could the devil have an impulse to sin if God can only create good things? It is best that we start at the beginning to understand the story of Genesis. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Heaven is where His throne would reside, and earth is where His creation would rule. And although angels are spiritual beings, they still require flesh to think and feel just like humans. It was no random accident that the devil became filled with pride. It was his high position in the heavens that doomed him. It would have taken time, but slowly he would have rewired his brain to be more task-focused. No longer could the devil be a tool used for good. Instead, he turned himself into a slave. His brain has been rewired to keep his delusions alive at any cost. The brain is nothing but a well-designed biological machine. It doesn't care about good or evil. Its purpose is self-preservation. You are either a slave to the flesh or a slave to the Holy Spirit. There is no free will. Without God, there can be no meaning, no reasoning, no unity. He must give our life purpose. These are not words of comfort, but despite this, you must stay strong and know they are true. We must view this temporary period of suffering as a required process to strengthen us. Adam and Eve were predestined to become self-aware and to suffer so that they could become strong enough to carry the glory of God. Without the fall of humanity, there would be no Jesus Christ. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ is required. All of humanity heard, and all of heaven viewed His sacrifice and learned how to love. For what greater love can a person show than to die for his friend? Our suffering here on earth is great, but to suffer for 100 years is nothing but a drop in the ocean compared to the eternity in heaven we have waiting for us. You wouldn't believe it now, but the love we are forming and have for each other will be enough to keep us preoccupied for an eternity.